We're going to talk about a record-breaking investment in broadband for Arkansas, the latest from the WASDE report from USDA, and so much more on today's episode of the Arkansas AgCast.
You're listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation and hosted by Jason Brown and John Nickman.
All right, it's Thursday.
It's been a while.
We're back. We're going to try and make this regular again.
It's still cold in here. That hasn't changed.
I know. I had to go get some reinforcements here.
This PFG's too thin.
Man, I knew it when it started raining this morning. I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to be freezing.
How about this rain in July?
I mean, I was watching a video about it last night, and it's all El Nino, baby.
Yeah. Which
truly.
we reported on.
Yeah, we have reported on that. I mean, and James Bryant with KTV pointed out this morning, like the rain we're going to be getting over the next couple days is going to keep us at a moderate temperature, but it will be humid if it's not raining.
Yeah. Well, this time last year, we weren't getting any rain.
Yeah, I had just put out some spots, some treatment on the bare spots in my yard.
Yeah,
all that currently is in my driveway now.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty disappointed in that.
Well,
but you know, at least I'm not running. At least I'm not watering in the yard, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I talked to a farmer this week who said they were running their pumps the opposite direction. Trying to get it out of there now.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, we've been doing pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden.
Well, it's nice when you don't have to run them, but, you know,
we're wet.
You get too much, you gotta pump it out.
Yeah.
Hopefully the ditches don't fill up.
Yeah, no doubt. Really, weather has been the highlight for a while. I will probably say that 3 more times today. I know South Arkansas has been hit.
Yeah.
We've been checking in on that. Made several phone calls down yesterday. I think we confirmed that there was some damage down there, really due to flooding.
Yeah.
This wasn't a wind situation like we've dealt with here or hell, and we may very well end up providing some coverage on that. But yeah. Thinking ahead though, next week, officers and leaders in Hot Springs. Thank you. I appreciate that motivation.
Say that again 3 times.
Yeah, no doubt. I think my brain wanted to say O&L and officers and leaders. So that's my PR brain. First reference spelling out, you know. So yeah, we've got O&L in Hot Springs next week on Thursday and Friday.
We'll be there.
We will be there.
Yeah.
I think the plan is for us to record our show there like we have a tendency to do.
Yes, sir.
When we have those opportunities. So we will ask you to be a little bit flexible because based on the schedule, and I know you are very busy, workshops, commodity division meetings, things like that.
It's part of the job.
Brian is very busy running the entire thing.
What are you talking about?
I'll just be sitting around waiting on y'all to tell me when. And yeah, we'll be recording from there. I don't know if we'll do the live thing, but we'll record from there at least. Maybe we will.
Think we'll have an audience?
I think so.
We
generally do have a gathering.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, if you are there and you do see us recording, please stop by and say hello.
Absolutely.
John McMahon will be there to sign autographs.
Yeah, yeah. Great thing about attendees, you'll get half off on autographs from me. Yeah.
Nice. Will your bobbleheads be in by then?
I hope so. We've had a little trouble with shipping.
That daggum mail.
If not, state convention.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very good. So yeah, we'll have the show out. It'll be out either Thursday or Friday, just depending on how the schedule goes. And frankly, we appreciate you being flexible, but we just need to see what we're working with.
I have
busy time.
I've had a dream before that we were doing the podcast on the stage in front of everybody.
Oh my goodness!
How was I dressed?
That's a thing though with podcasts now.
It is.
You know, there's these podcasts that have gotten popular, whether they're true crime or whatever. I mean, they do tours.
They do.
That's great. It's kind of wild to think about.
Well, like, are they touring at conferences and stuff, or just
like you can literally buy tickets like you can for a concert.
Oh, wow.
Only in a theater type setting rather than like an arena.
Mm-hmm.
And then they record the show and then have some audience engagement or whatever.
Well, just to be clear, when I say I had a dream, it was a nightmare. So,
no doubt.
I am in no way, shape, or form advocating for that right now.
Yeah. Well, I was afraid you were going to say we recorded the show in our underwear or something.
Yeah. Dreams can be weird.
Wouldn't go there.
Yeah. Y'all remember that commercial where I forget who did it a few years back, but like guy wakes up, comes out, and like Abraham Lincoln and this beaver sitting there eating breakfast. And it was like, it was a play on, how wild your dreams can be or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it was a mattress commercial, but it was pretty hilarious just thinking about how wild dreams can be. Speaking of dreams, we're going to make your dreams come true with a delicious burger. Rock City Week. Yeah. Rock City Burger Week, I'm sorry. Danette Span on our team heads this up. July 10th through the 16th, which is Sunday, you can eat some quite delicious burgers.
For the cheap.
For a great price and a great cause.
Yeah.
All burgers are $9. There's a full list of participating restaurants at rockcityburgerweek.com. I think this is interesting. So she's done this the past few years, I think. And they've got 5 commandments to Rock City Burger Week.
Do they?
Yep. Number 1, they might run out, meaning the restaurant. Mm-hmm. Number 2, there will be a wait. I like that. High demand.
Yes.
3, you will tip. Don't go in there thinking, I'm going to get this $9 burger and skip out of here.
Buy a T-shirt while you're there, too.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Buy other stuff. That's the 4th commandment. So buy a drink, buy your friend a burger,
Yeah, this is like
some chicken strip.
A little econ and business marketing, small business marketing 101 class right here.
It is really, isn't
Low
it?
supply, high demand.
Here it is.
Brand yourself.
Supply and demand. That's exactly right. And then lastly,
products.
Sharing is caring. So when you go, take a picture, tag Rock City Burger Week, send that out. I think there's a chance to win a PK grill involved.
Ooh.
I think you got to have 4 burgers, upload your receipts, and you're in the drawing.
So we need Matthew to eat 4 burgers today.
Yeah, he's on a different quest for a grill from them. In that barbecue passport. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's really making his way through that thing.
Are you?
Yeah.
Mine's just sitting in my truck, just not being checked off. It's not because I don't eat barbecue. I just forget about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I do believe he has the official word on all the best barbecue in the state.
Oh, and, we have this conversation a lot.
Yeah.
And I agree completely. We don't always see eye to eye, but for the most part, we do.
Does it become a heated conversation?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, it's just, I think we've had this philosophy before where barbecue's either fine or you should drive distances to get it. Like that, those are the 2 barbecues.
The one you put me on in Dallas, that's the best brisket I think I've ever had.
You know where I sent him? Pecan Lodge.
The rest of it was just, middle of the road. It got the job done. But that brisket, wow. Plastic fork, that's all I needed.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, let me see here. Oh, for the first 1,000 burgers sold, $1 each will be donated to the Arkansas Food Bank.
Good.
So you're doing some good when you go out and have these tasty burgers too. And some of the burgers, I just pulled out a few here that stood out to me. Town Pump has got one, Brave New, Hill Station, Loca Luna. This place, America Street Foods, that has gotten a lot of attention here lately, locally in Little Rock. They're out on Highway 10, and I think this place is actually in a gas station, like in a convenience store.
Okay.
But man, the picture of their burger on Rock City Burger Week is .com is just fantastic. I mean, I picked out one just based on the description.
Okay.
And this is a little local to me. It's in Sherwood.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Bennett's is the name of the place. If you're familiar with Sherwood and North Little Rock, it's the old Zaffino's on Keel Avenue. But Bennett's is excellent, man. And it's breaded and deep fried Angus patties, multiple, smoked jalapeno pimento cheese, bread and butter pickles, sweet tea barbecue sauce on a potato bun.
You'd have to roll me out of there and take me straight to the emergency room.
If that doesn't get you thinking about lunch,
get your heart stopped.
Yeah, if that doesn't stop your heart in its tracks, that one sounded good to me. Have you had a chance to take one of these in?
So yesterday we went to Count Porcula, Top Cantrell in Mississippi.
Oh yeah.
Burger was good, but I don't know if one of my favorite burgers I've ever had, and I grew up eating it. So and this goes back to barbecue. It depends on where you're from and what barbecue you're used to eating. But Craig's in Duval's Bluff, the DVD.
Really?
Cheeseburger with slaw.
Slaw.
Hands down. Now, you can get it with barbecue sauce and the sliced beef and stuff like that if you want. But cheeseburger, slaw, that's it.
Have you ever done slaw?
It's the best thing they have. It's better than barbecue. Barbecue's great.
Really?
But it is the best thing they have.
So you've not?
No. And that's where my mind was going with all this because, everyone's coming up with these specialty burgers, but I want to know what is a hard pass on do not put that on my burger.
Oh, okay. A slaw. I like slaw on a pork sandwich, but I've never had it on a burger.
Slaw's weird, though. People either love it or they don't like it at all.
It's like cottage cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love slaw.
So a hard pass on my burger, like don't put it on there. Man, I don't know that I have. I will say this. For all the barbecue I like to eat, I do not like that, and several places do it their own way, that barbecue sauce with an onion ring or whatever. I don't like barbecue sauce on my burger. I just don't.
Okay. That's fair.
Do you have a?
I normally do not eat jalapenos pretty much on anything.
Yeah,
because it's just too spicy for me. Call me weak or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
But sometimes I do. Now the other day I was telling you that one of my wife's cousin's husbands, Fonder, and I'm giving you a shout out, cooked us some venison smash burgers and like the Oklahoma Joe style with sautéed onions and fresh jalapenos on the bottom.
Down on the bottom, yeah.
Put the burger on. It was amazing. Of course, on the Blackstone, which I need to get one. But
yeah,
it was really good. That was the one exception. I enjoyed jalapenos, but normally no jalapenos.
Do you have a no-go?
Not really. I mean, I've tried some unusual stuff, but so far I haven't hit one that just like, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So, but I tried it. I'm pretty tame. So,
have you ever had a peanut butter jelly burger?
I have not.
I think a place in our place has one, North Bar.
Yeah.
It's good. Like I love it.
Okay.
There was a place in Jonesboro. Lisa Gotzi had a place that had a burger they called a Goober Burger, and it was like peanut butter, whole kernel corn, something else, and like a spicy sauce or something. Dude, delicious. Like
interesting.
Pizza. I'm the same way with pizza, though. I mean, I need to be the last person you worry about when you're thinking about toppings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I'm kind of good, and we've talked about pizza here before, but
I've done the Big Orange was one of the first ones for me that had all the unusual burgers, and I would do the fried egg on the burger and the truffle burger and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And wasn't real sure, but once I tried it, I was like, well, this is actually really good. So,
I'll take a fried egg on anything.
Yeah.
BLT. Dugan's used to put you could add one to a BLT. Like you said, Big Orange with the
fried egg on a burger.
Egg on a burger.
Farmer burger, I think.
Farmer burger, yeah. We're giving these guys a lot of credit. They're not even doing Rock City Burger Week. Come on.
You ever had a chili cheeseburger?
Oh,
actually, I
for sure.
revised my answer. Chili.
It's good, but you just won't eat it again.
I don't
That's
want
just
it.
too much.
I don't want it on there.
No
I'd
chili
actually
on
take
your
barbecue
burgers.
sauce any
Okay,
day
okay.
over
chili.
Well,
Look, you're the one that says it deserves its own place on the menu or
It does.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's not start that.
like we don't need to put that on the burger too.
as usual, we're going way off the rails, but I love the.
I would like some chili soup on my burger, please. Chili soup burger.
I'll do the barbecue brisket bacon burger. I mean, it's really good.
There's a couple of these burgers. I think the one you had yesterday is made with ground brisket.
Yeah.
There's another one that's got ground brisket and beef short ribs in it. Like, I mean, I like. There's a ribeye, ground ribeye. I mean, I like a burger that's got a good high quality protein in it. That's not just 80-20 or whatever.
You go buy your own chuck roast or something and grind it. That's compared to like the tube or already ground meat you're getting in the grocery store is just ground up trimmings. So if you go and ground your own chuck roast or something like that, it's going to be a better quality.
Quality. That's what I need. I need a meat grinder.
That's what you need. Let me borrow.
Yeah. You don't have one I could borrow. I was going to ask you if you had one I could borrow. You're the hunter here.
I don't have all my toys.
Well, I guess we will. I have an idea.
Yes.
What are y'all doing after this?
I'm eating lunch because I'm hungry. And all this burger talk, I'm assuming you want to go eat a burger?
Yeah. Are y'all open? You got time?
Are you paying?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right.
If it's free, it's me.
Burger right after this. All right. Y'all be like us and go to rockcityburgerweek.com. We'll have to pick out a burger. That's the only thing. We'll have to agree on something and pick out a place to go, and we'll go knock it out after this. Y'all do the same. All right. Because this show is not called the Arkansas Burger Cast, we're going to rock on. We talked about this a couple times, but USDA is hosting a prevented planting listening session on August 3rd. That's going to be in Stuttgart. I believe it aligns with the Rice Field Day down there. It'll be happening in person in Stuttgart at the Rice Research Extension Station from 1 to 3 p.m., so if you're already going to be down there for Rice Field Day, just stick around, go to this.
Yeah.
If not, please go. It's all focused on preventive planning, and this is all input that will likely be implemented or considered for the Farm Bill.
Yeah.
There are more meetings than just this one in Stuttgart, but I think this is the only one in the state. But if you want to see more information, more details, the full schedule of meetings, you can visit rma.usda.gov for that that info.
Should be a good one.
Yeah, should be. All right, a few highlights from the crop progress report this week. Despite many rounds of severe weather, which we talked about earlier, like wind and hail, corn seems to be holding up well for the majority of the state. USDA reports nearly 70% of the crop is in good to excellent condition, but a quarter remains in that fair column. Cotton is looking much better than corn, with 80% of the crop in great condition across the state, and most is squared while slightly behind on setting bolls. And when I say behind, I mean the 5-year average.
Okay.
I know a lot of folks have talked about cotton has kind of been lucky, if you can say that, because it hasn't. It's still got some maturing to go, some process to go as all this severe weather has hit. Peanuts are doing well. Nearly 75% of the state's acres are looking good to excellent and progressing well. Also, rice is doing okay, but we do have a quarter of the crop or so in that fair column. We hope that it doesn't get any worse. Likely impacts from the weather here too. Moving on to soybeans, much like the other row crops, weather has taken its toll, and only 60% of that crop is in the good here. Livestock conditions are also not looking great. I'd love to talk to Jake Cartwright about this to learn more, but USDA shows that 35% or better are in the fair column right now.
Like animal health? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's just crop quality report, and as livestock is listed, to pile on there, the hay crop is not looking great at the moment, which may cause some issues moving forward.
Yeah,
too.
when we put out that drought article last year, it was focusing on hay production, and even then they were expecting, and even us were expecting, it would take more than just this year to really recover from that.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure. We'll have to talk to him about that and see if he's hearing any word on the street. And I just want to note, like I said earlier, we saw some significant flooding in the southern portion of the state Tuesday night. In some areas, there was a foot of rain or more that fell in a few short hours. Like I said, we've been tracking that. We know there are some impacts to poultry farms there, likely others. Keep an eye out on our social channels as we are able to get there, as we're able to talk to folks. We'll try and give you a closer look at that if and when it's possible.
Man, southern Arkansas is just getting wrecked.
Yeah, all that rain has just a lot of the weather this spring and summer is running through down there. So anyway, I think that that wraps up all the sort of early stuff we've got.
So we're done?
I don't think so. You still got some. This is what happens when we take time off. Boom, we got a big show to bring.
Just dusting it off. You know, it's a little tough getting back in the groove of things.
I know it. All right. Well, how about you get us some news? Get us kicked off.
Arkansas Forestry is back in the docket today. There have been some serious timber health issues in our news, and our new state foresters' priorities have been set.
Nice.
Last month, or whenever last time you and I sat here and chit-chatted last on camera, we announced Governor Huckabee's newly appointed state forester, Kyle Cunningham. Cunningham, who will be replacing the retiring Joe Fox after 11 years of service with the Ag Department. Cunningham has set his priorities going forward in his new role, like I said just previously. In an interview with Northwest Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Cunningham said he is focusing on protection of trees themselves, but also as people in the state regarding like wildfires.
Nice.
Of course, wildfires are a big concern for the industry. That's been kind of an issue with how thick our forests have gotten, overgrowth, and not enough harvesting of that timber. So wildfires and invasive species, which I'll get into later in this article, have been pretty serious issues for them to focus on. But also, he said that wildfires are pretty serious to us, the citizens of the state, too. So that's something they've been focusing on as well.
We saw that up in the Northeast just a month or so
Yeah.
ago with the smoke.
So like I said, invasive species are also a big concern for the forestry industry. Cunningham says that these invasive species are growing in number every year and pose a large threat to the pine industry in southern Arkansas, which is a critical area of business for the region of the state.
Mm-hmm.
As a state agency, Cunningham believes their role is to provide sound information for the cause of any potential problems, but also information for any businesses that are interested in working in the state of Arkansas. So if a sawmill, say from Canada, is interested in entering the state, Cunningham wants to provide that necessary data they need to promote business growth here in Arkansas.
Well, I'm sure he finds that forestry business center down at
that's a huge step in the right direction to benefit that priority. Needless to say, Cunningham has a lot on his plate as new forester. And setting his priorities has been very timely because a needle blight in pine trees across the state has been confirmed. It is believed that this is a contributing factor to the health issues being seen in Arkansas's timber over the last several years. Discoloring has been reported as far north as Newton County, and yellowing leaves have been reported in hardwoods located all the way down in the Delta. Specifically, brown spot needle blight, a fungal disease that causes needles to drop from pines and can stunt growth or kill trees, in one of 3 different pathogens researchers have detected in Arkansas so far. According to the retired state forester Joe Fox, brown spot needle blight is the only one of those pathogens that can cause consequential damage to the health of a tree. However, such extreme damage only happens when a tree is exposed to blight over several years. So you're not going to see so many mortality rates the first time he gets it, but year after year, he's suggesting that you could see some really big consequences. Yeah. Blight has also been identified in Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, and Louisiana. A very troubling sign for Fox is that signs of blight aren't only showing up in older trees, but also now in younger trees as well. Michael Blazer, Dean of the University of Arkansas at Monticello's College of Forestry, Agriculture, and Natural Resources, says that although the fungus is a concern, mortality of trees has been very spotty. And I also read that is the same case in other surrounding states.
Okay,
They haven't seen a whole lot of mortality rates. Cunningham, our new state forester, believes that the underlying issue of ailing trees is due to stress, and he is focusing on what all could be contributing to that specific stress. He points out that climate is a big contributor, and Arkansas has experienced extreme swings in weather, as we know, such as heavy rains and long droughts. When trees don't have adequate moisture, they have trouble supporting themselves, And this type of stress attracts harmful beetles who further weaken a tree's ability to respond to other hazards. So there's a lot more detail in the article in the Northwest Arkansas Democrat Gazette. But just to kind of sum all this up, researchers are going to continue to work on this issue. They're still taking in samples, running tests, but this is going to be a long, drawn-out process. So as information comes in, we'll be happy to report here.
Yeah, and quite the challenge potentially to meet the new state forester at the door.
And also Cunningham and the rest of the department are asking any public citizens to put in comments as well if they see any trees in their yard or on the road, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're working on trying to get him on the podcast for a deep dive. So maybe we can talk a little bit about that when he comes on.
Yeah, I bet he's pretty busy right now.
Yeah, I bet you're right. All right. Some great news for those of us still waiting on progress when it comes to connectivity in the state. As we teased at the top of the show, the Department of Commerce's National Telecommunications and Information Administration announced that Arkansas would receive $1 billion to deploy high-speed internet service across the state. Over 200,000 homes and small businesses in Arkansas lack access to an affordable, reliable internet connection. According to a recent U.S. News and World Report, Arkansas ranks in the bottom 10 in the country for internet access. And while some grants are already in place to improve broadband, the state broadband office said $1 billion is a game changer. Of course. I mean, that's a massive investment. Our own Philip Powell spoke to THV on this news, and he noted that COVID really exposed this need for connectivity in rural areas. If you've been to a Farm Bureau meeting in the last 2 years, we talk about this almost every time. Yep. Philip pointed out that things like work from home, telehealth, and other needs that urban areas enjoy are simply not an option for most in rural areas because of those connectivity challenges.
Yep.
State Broadband Director Glenn Howey said that this grant will help address that issue specifically. He also noted that funding comes from the Biden administration's Internet for All initiative and said that this is the single largest one-time investment in broadband infrastructure deployment in the state.
It's huge, man.
So it's massive. We hope to see some real change on the ground from this and some real impact. And obviously as quickly as possible.
It's been an issue for a long time.
Yeah.
We're past not being able to have everybody have access to internet.
That's right. So anyway, looking forward to seeing the development there. Of course, we'll continue to follow that. But right now, let's take a short break from the news to hear a reminder about keeping rural roads safe during this time of year.
Arkansas farmers and ranchers work 7 days a week. That means when you hit the road, you may be sharing it with farm equipment, especially if you're traveling along rural roads and county highways. Farm equipment moves slower than our pickup trucks and minivans. They may not have the safety lights and turn signals of our family vehicles either. The trucks and tractors moving down the road need extra room to make turns, cross bridges, and move through intersections too. We all get in a hurry sometimes, but it's important that we all stay safe, no matter if we're headed to buy groceries or grow them. So next time you're cruising past a pasture or field, keep an eye out for farmers. They'll be sure to keep an eye out for you too. If we all work together, we can make sure Arkansas is cultivating safe roads.
It's so important that we work together to keep each other safe on the roads. You may find yourself on the road with a farmer moving hay or driving one of the large row crop implements this time of year as well. Let's all be sure to help one another cultivate safe roads. Now let's get back to the news. So, last one for me.
Yeah.
Last time I think we met, we talked about some H2A issues.
Yes, we did.
Yep. So H2A is back again. In an article last week with the Democrat Gazette, they interviewed Congressman Crawford and a farmer in Monroe County, John Carroll, about H2A labor issues. Mm-hmm. So last we met, like I said, we passed on the news with the that the U.S. House of Representatives Agriculture Committee formed a 14-member agricultural labor working group to specifically study and develop a report on labor issues facing the U.S. agriculture industry. For the article, the Democrat Gazette received firsthand information from John Carroll, a row crop farmer in Monroe County, as I said before, on issues he's faced regarding labor, as well as more information specifically from Congressman Crawford, who is the co-chair of the working group, on exactly what role the working group will play in D.C., given that they can't change policy or anything like that.
Right.
Due to the lack of local labor pool, many farmers such as Carroll utilize the H-2A visa program. He goes on to mention that the cost of the program continues to increase, and the complexities of navigating the program without the service of a third party is almost impossible now.
Absolutely. One of the most unanimous
across the board.
Consistent bits of feedback we hear across the board. Yeah.
So these were just a few of many issues the new Agricultural Labor Working Group will be researching. The working group plans to host roundtable discussions and will deliver reports detailing the H-2A labor program's flaws and possible remedies. Congressman Crawford was quoted saying, We're going to have the opportunity to work on something collaboratively and arrive at some suggestions. If the Judiciary Committee is going to write policy on things that affect agriculture like labor and H-2A, they need to hear from people who have the subject matter expertise. The end game here is to make sure our colleagues in the committees of authority are adequately aware of the issues that are affecting producers across the country.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Love that spirit. Yep.
So Crawford noted also that streamlining the process or requesting labor in order to reduce burdens on farmers needed to be addressed as well. If we can identify 3 to 5 areas that we all agree on, so he says, then those are the 3 to 5 things we want to focus on and try to change for the better so farmers can get through the process as quickly as they can and be able to employ these folks that they need to keep their operations going. Lastly, Arkansas Farm Bureau's Executive Director, Jared Yates, applauded the House Agriculture Committee's decision to create the working group. He was quoted saying, We're hopeful the group's work will result in a streamlined and simplified process to leverage the labor force necessary to provide for American families and beyond. Arkansas farmers and ranchers will benefit greatly from having Congressman Crawford leading the effort and serving as a voice for the state's ag industry. So
very well said.
Yes. I mean, all this is in a very right direction.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what's going to come of it. We're working on these issues as well here at Farm Bureau. Clearly, Jared is on top of it as well. And we're excited to see what comes of it because this is something that really needs to be fixed, adjusted.
And if you're watching or listening to this show and you don't own a tractor or a single acre of farmland, I can tell you this matters to you too. Because this labor is exactly how the food gets to your table. And take soybeans, for instance. No, you don't put a plate of soybeans out, but every time you cook or serve chicken or, some sort of animal protein, I mean, all that came from...
Yeah, we're all part of agriculture one way or another. I mean, just for example, growing up in high school, I would pull levee gates or put in levee gates or work on the farm during the summer. Kids aren't doing that anymore.
Yeah.
And people aren't moving to rural areas.
Caused this problem.
Yeah.
You just left.
Things change, I guess. Put me on the spot here. But kids aren't doing that anymore, and people aren't looking to do that manual labor. So the H-2A program gave farmers an opportunity to find more labor.
That's right.
And a bigger labor pool. But this program has gotten so strenuous and complicated that it's hard to even navigate, and the cost of it is getting more and more expensive. Like I've said on the show many times, that it's going to get to a point of something that changed that it's going to start pricing people out of business.
Yeah, exactly. And
if you like to eat, you want your farmers to stay in business.
If you like to wear a shirt, if you
live in a house,
so all that stuff matters. So this matters to you too. Like I said, even if you're not a farmer. All right, let's round out today's show by taking a look at the latest WASDE report from USDA. It only seems fitting considering the weather has been the headline in Arkansas Ag for what seems like months at this point.
Yeah.
All right, for our non-farmer friends, I don't know why, I just feel like I'm driving that point home today. But if you're a non-farmer and watching or listening to this show, a quick debrief on the WASDE report. That funny sounding word is actually an acronym for the World Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimates. It's released monthly and gives annual forecast for supply and use of U.S. and world commodities. It's integral to marketing decisions for farmers and traders. And yes, we are talking about supply and demand.
Absolutely.
Once again here. So in the latest report, we see that almost a 3.5% increase in U.S. corn acres over the February forecast, but soybean acres have fallen by nearly 5% over that same forecast. The corn crop looks really strong with 94 million projected acres in the country, the third largest since the 40s. Soybeans, on the other hand, are down under 85 million acres this year. We'll provide a little bit more context to that here in a second. Rice and cotton both saw increases over the February forecast. Rice is up 7.5%, and cotton up nearly 2 percentage points. We relied on some great reporting from Mary Hightower at the U of A Division of Ag for some of this reporting. She had some comments from Hunter Byram, a name familiar to us here at Farm Bureau, of course.
Doing great work.
Yeah, really, truly. Hunter said the corn acres in Arkansas largely followed the U.S. trend here, with just under 900,000 acres, which is 80,000 more than we saw in the March planting intentions report.
Okay.
Soybean acres in the state are down nearly 300,000 acres from last year and down 150,000 acres from that same March planting intentions report, according to Byram. So corn is up. Soybeans are down. According to reporting, peanut acres are projected to be up over last year, but still on par with the March intentions report. Rice acres are up over last year and up over the March report as well. Of course, these numbers had an impact on markets as to be expected. We'll keep an eye on this report and provide updates as future reports are released. Now that we look at stocks, we start to overlay that with quality, and that's where you get some ground truth, I'll say. So that'll be important in how that impacts the market.
This is going hand in hand with what we've seen, what we saw in the beginning of the spring. Of like, you look at a country like Brazil that is having a bumper corn and soybean crop of this year. And I think I just saw an article this past week that said they're going to surpass us, and maybe, I don't know if it was grain specifically, or is it corn exports?
Corn. When we went to that ag business summit at Arkansas State in February, they were projecting that Brazil would take over the U.S.'s corn production for the first time.
I'm interested in seeing how that all folds out. What does that mean for the world market? What does that mean for the U.S.?
Right.
Will that trend continue? Will Brazil continue to increase its production, and will ours continue to decrease?
And does that change with, that was early, does that change with some of these projections, corn looking up on the overall scale?
I think a lot of it depends on what farmers are getting the most, profit or revenue out of. What are the best prices? Like, I'm going to plant corn if it's going to cost me less to grow it, and I'm going to get a better price for it and a better return than I am for soybeans or rice or whatever it may be. But there's other factors, of course.
Input costs. How does input costs
ground
impact?
You have?
Yeah. But we saw people last year back off corn because input costs were so much. And rice, impacted by that too. So, so much that plays into that. But anyhow, that wraps us up. That is a show. And we immediately started passing back and forth articles before we got down here.
Yeah.
This show was in the can, and we started passing back and forth articles for next week already. So there's a lot going on right now.
Always.
Yeah, truly.
It just seems to get busier and busier. But that's the nature of the job, and I'm happy for it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's see if we can satisfy your demented.
Better be demented. Oh, I like where you're going with this stuff, Anyway.
I kid.
Do it.
It is time for another episode of
Stop the Hose.
Yes. He brought it back. We need a different one for supply and demand. I think we have worked our way into a sounder for supply and demand.
I'll work on one of those. You guys asked for pop culture stuff, so I feel like I'm taking it easy on you guys this week, but we'll see.
Yeah. To be fair, he asked for movies. I asked for music.
True. So I combined them.
Oh,
great.
So, musician? Ooh, Dwight Yoakam. Is he?
Oh, boy. He acts a lot, doesn't he?
Jennifer Lopez.
Just stop.
Yeah, exactly.
So I happened to be driving home the other day and I was listening to some David Bowie. And listen to one of his popular tunes.
Yeah.
This tune was remade in the 90s, the late 90s, by Jacob Dylan and his band, which would be
The Wallflowers.
The Wallflowers. Very good. All right. So, can you think of what tune I might be thinking of? Because it was on a movie soundtrack.
Yeah.
What was the
Trying to
movie?
think of
Or is
the
that the
name
next
of it.
question?
That would be part of the next question.
Yeah, I'm not going to get this. I have no clue.
Yeah, I can't think of the name. Of the
You're the
song.
musician.
All right.
I know.
So I'll go ahead and give you
mean,
the tune.
Okay.
It was Heroes.
Heroes, yeah.
All right. So
you know the
what
movie.
movie might that have been featured in? There's music video and all that kind of stuff. It was 1998. Matthew Broderick.
I can see the cover of the movie.
Which one's Matthew Broderick? I can't. I know
Ferris
the name.
Bueller.
Yeah,
Oh.
Ferris
Ferris
Bueller.
Bueller. Bueller.
Oh, Godzilla.
Can you remember who had a
very
big
serious
TV
now.
campaign for that?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Bell. Yeah, the little chihuahua.
Chihuahua. Yeah.
Yoki Arrow.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
That's
that was my favorite
All
because
that
he was
nostalgia came back.
me and my kids, we'd walk around the house going, "Here, lizard, lizard."
Yeah.
lizard,"
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
that's
time.
right. That's what it was.
I can remember watching that on our tube TV,
Yep.
sitting Indian style on the
That's
floor
right.
eating pizza or Taco Bell. I probably watched that movie 10
I
times.
thought for whatever reason, I thought Green Day also had a song on that soundtrack. But
I think they do, but
not that I'm seeing. But
well,
anyway,
that said, that
Jamiroquai though.
yeah, Jamiroquai. All right, that's right.
You know, the guy that plays like the leader of that little army regiment or
Yeah,
group.
yeah.
He always plays like a Russian character.
Yeah,
He's one
right.
of my favorite actors.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's very good.
He also
Very good.
plays the devil in Constantine.
Yeah.
That's another good role he plays. Some other ones. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going off.
So that got me thinking of other, summer blockbusters because we are in the summer of
We are in
movies
the
and stuff.
summer. Yeah.
So Indiana Jones is out now. Which have you seen that, by the way?
I didn't see the last one
Okay.
or the one before that.
No, I haven't seen that one, but I'll tell you, you guys know we were just down at Disney and with the Hollywood Studios, and they still have the Indiana Jones stunt show that you can watch.
Yeah.
Really?
Did you ever see this?
No.
Oh man, it's a live.
Yeah.
It's like a 30-minute show where they do all these stunts and
Yeah.
pyrotechnics or
That
whatever.
would turn into a little kid again.
So we were there the day that the new Indiana Jones came out.
Okay.
And so they were kind of pumping it up. And my 7-year-old, all she wants to do is watch Indiana Jones. We were at the lake this weekend, like the theater they were showing. She's like, "Dad, plays at 3:30." I'm like, "No way, we can't do that. You're not at Indiana Jones level
That's
yet."
great.
Oh. How to make exception for little town.
Well,
Well, Tony Pepperoni, he wouldn't
Tony
really
Baloney's
know
a
what
big
he's saying
Indiana
right
fan.
now. Yeah.
I did see it. It was good, but I was wondering if you guys knew who the original Indiana Jones selection was. It wasn't Harrison Ford.
Oh, so like who they
had
initially
chosen They had chosen an actor, and
Who were some of the big actors?
Well,
They
I
had
was
him
trying to
lined
think of what year.
Like 80.
Trying to think of what year that first one was. It in the 80s?
88?
oh yeah, it was like, was it 83, 82, 83, somewhere around there,
Then,
maybe even 84.
yeah.
Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Well,
or,
yeah.
Well, yeah, I can see where you go with some of that, but no.
Chuck Norris.
No. I know what I'm thinking about.
Some of the choices they had on the list, I was like, oh my gosh, that would have been terrible.
You don't pick
But,
Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris picks
For
you.
some reason, Nick Cage is sticking out to me.
No, that would
No,
have been too early for
he,
Nick Cage.
believe it or not, he was chosen to be Superman.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Really?
Shouldn't
Yeah.
talk about that.
Huh.
Would you believe Tom Selleck?
Tom Selleck is
He was
Indiana.
the original
Actually,
choice. He was the
With the
original
mustache?
choice. Yeah. The top choice, I would say. He was the top choice and would have
Was he
done
too
it.
busy with Magnum PI or something?
He was under contract with CBS and they would not allow him to get away to film. So
I'm glad that worked out.
And yes.
I think it worked out
yes,
the right way.
Thankfully. It worked out better. And I think everyone agrees it worked
Yeah.
out better. But man, what an action hero Harrison Ford turned out to be.
Yeah.
Matthew, Indiana Jones series, thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay.
Oh,
he
he's
gives a
wavering. He's
wavering sort of
I think
like,
it's because of some of the
originals.
laters. Yeah.
There's 3 originally, right?
Yep.
And then they started making
Yep.
these.
Yep.
these whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe
Make
Harrison
money
Ford
and-
could even do the.
So this new one, I haven't watched the new ones, and the
I haven't
original
even
3
seen
I'm
a
a
trailer
huge fan.
for it. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't care. I love them all, so it's all good. And yeah, there's definitely ones that are better than others, but I still like them.
yeah,
So I did have one more, and since we're on summer blockbusters, I figured it'd be fitting to end with that. But Back to the Future.
Oh, speaking my language now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then you probably already know this will be
I
an
don't
easy
know.
one for you.
Huey Lewis.
It's not music,
Oh, okay.
but Marty McFly wasn't originally Michael J. Fox.
Really?
So
that
who-
hurts my feelings, actually.
Well, I figured it might.
Yeah.
So who do you think was the original Marty McFly?
was it Ferris Bueller?
Matthew Broderick.
Nope.
Mm.
I thought you guys would get this one. So
That's another one of those, like, who was hot in the,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and
I think the
that's-
first one came out in 89.
yeah.
What's his name that played Luke Skywalker? Mark Hamill?
Nope.
No,
He would have been a little too old for
a
it.
little too old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're killing Matthew.
Yeah, he's dying over here. Eric Stoltz,
Who's that?
Okay, help me.
redheaded guy. He was in several movies, but he was more of a method actor, and he was very serious. So
Yeah.
when he came on set to do it, he acted very well, but he was too serious with the role, and they needed it a little more comedic, which I think we can all agree that's what Michael J. Fox brought to it. So he was in
What
Some
else
Kind
that
of
guy
Wonderful,
playing?
and
We might. Yeah.
you'll see. You've seen him in several things, but anyway,
Poor Michael
found
J.
it
Fox,
fascinating.
man. If he wouldn't have had Parkinson's is what he has.
yeah,
And
it
that
is.
really sidelined his career.
Yeah, I still want to watch that movie. That's
Yeah,
out there
that documentary.
about
I hadn't watched
so,
that yet.
He started, apparently. Like, he filmed for 6 weeks.
He did.
And then they're like, you
He
gotta
did,
go.
and it just wasn't working. So,
Interesting.
you know, side note: high school, early college, I was accused of being a little bit too much like Michael J. Fox from
You know
you
what?
wear
I
Family
knew you were
Ties.
going to say that.
Did you wear life
'cause-
jackets to the school?
I wore jackets and I carried a briefcase, so
Ah.
was a little bit of a nerd. But
Well, I mean, thinking back on that, I still have buddies that talk about his truck.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, as like the
Oh.
truck. I mean, that.
That's probably why people like Toyota Tacomas so much.
I wanted
Yeah.
Other
that
than their
truck. I wanted his
dependability.
girlfriend. You know, it was.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
wanted
know,
to be
the flying
Marty
skateboard.
McFly. So you know,
Yeah, I think that would be a compliment to me. He was
Yeah.
in Pulp. Eric Stoltz was in Pulp Fiction and some other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The Butterfly Effect. and
Yeah.
some other stuff.
he's been in a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Anyway.
that's what I got for you.
All right. Well, those are pretty good. I
I
enjoyed
enjoyed
that
that, yeah.
personally. Those are more fun than trying to figure out riddles. That's very creepy. That's very creepy. Was that an effect?
That was an effect.
Oh, yeah, that was. Oh, wow.
Little creepy
He's got
laughter
a
there.
helium
So,
balloon
yeah.
back there.
Oh, man.
And to be clear, that was an accident. So I do make mistakes here, people. Okay. So,
That's a lie. Hey, that's what happens when we record live. Like,
yeah, we are live.
Too much fun here with
here
this new
comes a
soundboard.
Chucky question or something like that. Goodness. All right. Well, that's a good way to cue us out. That wraps up the news for this week. Thanks for following along with the Arkansas AgCast. We're grateful for you taking the time to watch and listen.
Remember, you can catch new episodes of the show every Thursday afternoon. Find video episodes on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the audio version on iTunes or Spotify. And make sure to subscribe and leave us a review when you have a few extra minutes.
That's right. The Arkansas AgCast is brought to you by Arkansas Farm Bureau. I'm Jason Brown,
I'm John McMinn.
and we'll see you next week.